What is going on? I hope everyone is doing wonderful today. My name is Jet and welcome back to my channel. Today's gonna be a super fun one. I got a couple of new plants that I want to talk about, specifically ones that I got on my recent trip to California. For those who don't know, I live in Arizona, so it's not too far of a drive, especially where we went. So we stayed with some family, so it was a nice, really laid back, zero itinerary kind of trip, and I really needed that. It's been a while since I had a little bit of a breather, especially with how hectic the rest of July is gonna be for me in regards to moving and just all kinds of other things. So that was super nice. And of course, while I was out there, I had to peep some plant shops and try to see if I can find anything unique or just stuff that I don't normally see out here in Arizona, or at least in the stores that I've interacted in out here. I will try to at and link any of the shops that I went to if I can find their Instagram and things like that. I should have everyone's accounts and stuff, but I just wanted to make sure I give a little shout out because a lot of those shops were super cool, and a lot of the people that I talked to were super nice as well too. To start off first, I have this super gorgeous Hoya. This is, I should have double checked how to pronounce the name. It's a Hoya merrily? I think it's a Hoya merrily if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But here she is, super gorgeous. I believe the shop that I was in was called Houseplant Nation, or at least that's their Instagram. As I was in that shop, they had a lot of interesting Hoyas, and the lady too there, she told me that she didn't have a lot of stuff in at the moment, but I was still super impressed with the shop itself. There was a lot of fun and interesting plants, a lot of common, but also a lot of rare type plants as well too. I saw this Hoya and I started doing a little bit more research because I'm not a Hoya head. I have a couple of Hoyas that I really appreciate. My Hoya Carnosa compacta, my Crimson Queen, my Australis. All of those ones are some of my absolute favorites, but they are pretty common, and this one I've not seen in person, nor, like I said, I know a lot about Hoyas, so rarity wise I don't think it's anything super crazy, but when I was looking it up, I noticed how beautiful the leaves are when they're sun stressed, and I think that's kind of what makes me interested in Hoyas. I think some of them when they're sun stressed is just so stunning, and it's cool to see such vibrancy in some of the sun stressed Hoyas that I've seen online. So that's what kind of got me to slightly impulsively buy this one. I wasn't originally going to. Like I said, a Hoya wasn't on the list, but one, I wasn't able to find any platyceriums out there, and I did find one sick Ripsalis, and it was at this shop. Huge. That thing was probably 6 feet long, so almost as tall as me. When I went to ask her about it, she was like, it's not for sale, but she was like, but it is for sale for the right price, which I already knew was hey, you're gonna be spending big old bucks just because of how grown out it is, which is super valid. But also that one was extremely grown out. I would have been okay with something half that size, but it was super beautiful, super stunning. I knew it wasn't in the budget, but if it was, I would have committed and totally bought it because it was stunning. I don't even think I took a photo of it. I was just mesmerized. But this is the Hoya merrily? I want to say that's what it is. Y'all can correct me if I'm saying it wrong. But either way, I'm excited for this one. I think it's super beautiful. I am definitely going to be keeping it on that west-south facing window setup just so I can get it to sun stress, because I think that's what I want the most out of this Hoya. But the leaves are beautiful. They're so big and thick, and honestly, this might be the start of my Hoya era. There's been a couple of Hoya videos that I've seen here and there where I'm like, man, these are really sick. And then honestly, there's some giant Hoyas. I think it's the globulosa, if I'm pronouncing it right, but some of the biggest leaves on a Hoya I've ever seen. So who knows, this might be the start of my Hoya era. The next one that I have is one that I'm really excited about. The reason why I was excited is just because I have yet to be able to find this plant online. Definitely not in person. In Arizona, I don't know one single soul, not even anyone that I follow that has one of these. And they're not really rare, but I just find them super stunning, and I think they'll do really good in the space that I have. I have right here a Passaflora. Oh, I don't have it attached to the actual pole yet. I just kind of put it up there for the time being just so its little arms can kind of grab on. This is also known as the butterfly vine. Benji plant was probably one of the first ones I personally saw that have this. I know there's a couple other YouTubers that I'm following that I know have had this plant longer, but I just cannot for the life of me remember names. I know Harley G is another one that has one. In Arizona, you don't find these. Not even in the Facebook groups, not in any of the shops, just it doesn't exist. And this one I was super excited to find because I actually was on Facebook Marketplace. on the fence about buying plants just from people that live there. And I saw this one and I was like, oh my gosh, I have yet to see a Passaflora. I kind of forgot about them. And I was like, I forgot, I really do want one of these. This would be a really cool plant. I messaged the person and started talking and came to find out they have a plant shop. It was at like this little mall and it was on the outskirts and it was in like this little like van. It was a really cute setup. This one is a Passaflora. It starts with the C. It's like claw something. I'll put the Latin name just to make sure. From the sound of it, it likes to say pretty moist. And so I have it just sitting in a little bit of water, which I feel like I'm gonna treat this one kind of how I treat like my Mimosa Pudica. It sounds like it has very similar care needs in regards of just not drying out and nice bright light to kind of help it. But I've also heard that these do pretty good in low light as well too. But I kind of want to see if I can get them to sun stress, so that's kind of the goal. In regards to Passaflora, I did end up getting another type of Passaflora from the same person. He showed me it and I was like, this is so cute. But this one is a Passaflora something. Passaflora trifiscatia. This is that one, but you can see it has that vininess. It looks like the other Passaflora, but it looks like a little dinosaur foot. And it has like a really beautiful, like kind of center variegation that has a little bit of like a pinkish tone to it. So just really, really beautiful, really cool. This one I'll get a closer up because it's so cool. They put out these little, like, I don't know what the proper term is. I want to say like little tendrils, but they'll grab onto like anything to give themselves support to keep climbing. And it's just so cool to see. Care should be pretty similar with these ones. I'm gonna probably get a little tray and put a little bit of water in it just so it never dries out. With me living in Arizona, I came home to 118-degree weather. I really want to make sure both of these Passafloras don't accidentally dry out under my care. So that's why I'm gonna have them in just a little bit of water overall. Look at how cute. Like I said, it looks like a little dinosaur foot. It's so cute. He showed me it and I was like, dude, like, why would you do this to me? And he knew right away. Because as I was talking to him a little bit more, I was like, once again, we don't have these, never see them. I've seen them online. Like one of the only like bigger shops that I can think of that I've seen them is Steve's Leaves. They're just always sold out, so I never really do get the opportunity to even try to go for one. Passaflora trifascida? I don't know, that's the best as I got for y'all. My goal when I went there was to hopefully find some cool Rhaphidophora or some Platyceriums, but just could not find them in the shops that I was looking at, unfortunately. But still super happy with what I was able to find. I think I got some really fun and interesting stuff, at least towards me, and I'm excited to see how they grow and just how that experience is. A new Hoya is always fun, and to have a whole new type of plant like the Passafloras is gonna be really cool to just kind of experience as well. But the last one that I have here, we did get in my work and I immediately was like, oh, I have to grab this one. This is the Ficus Chivalryana Moonshine. I'm probably butchering that name. It is gorgeous. The variegation, the way the leaves look, I'm baffled by this one. It is so pretty, and I've seen them before online and I really like them, but the price was never right for me, at least. They're just a little too expensive. And we got them in the 4 inches. With me working there, I was like, I have to pick one of these up because I have to see it every day at this point until they're all gone. So I ended up grabbing one and I'm super excited. I didn't think I was gonna get another Elastica at all. I have a Ficus Elastica Ruby and I thought that one was gonna be like the one where I was like, oh, the variegation. Pretty much how I'm talking about this one is how I felt about that Ruby. I saw this one and now I'm like, oh, I don't think I care about the Ruby as much now. So I'm on the fence. I think I'm gonna keep both for now, but I might sell that Ruby. I've had it for like a year and it's growing pretty consistently now ever since I repotted it, which is cool, but I think I wanna put all my focus on this guy and start growing this one out if I can, because that variegation and just the way the leaves look, like, could you imagine this as a big old 10-inch plant with nice big leaves and kind of having this as like a statement piece? Like, it's gonna take time, but I think it'd be so worth it. Alrighty, that is going to be it for the video. I know it was a pretty short one. The rest of July is very hectic. Let me know what you think. Which one out of the 4 did I show was the most interesting to you? Or if you have any of these 4, I'd love to hear more information on like the Hoya or even for the Passafloras, anything like that. I'm very appreciative of. I'm always all ears. I'm always trying to learn more about what I have in my collection. Either way, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day or night wherever they may be, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.